In my last video of 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that it would take roughly another 10 to 14 days to get over the peak, and as it seems right now, we are indeed over the hump. Looking at the numbers outside of Hubei province, we see a decrease on a daily basis of new cases. It's smart here to make a distinction between the virus and the virus prevention. Looking at the virus and the number of infected people, that's always been very much centered in Wuhan, Hubei province and the surrounding provinces. Whereas when we're looking at other provinces in China, they have seen a significant lesser impact of the virus itself. It is actually the necessary preventive measures and overall caution that's causing the impact on our daily life and business, such as the work from home, closing of buildings, schools and public areas, the travel restrictions and periods of quarantine, and economically also crossing borders and industry sectors. We've asked some other contacts in several parts of the world for some comments on their outlook for their respective industries.
My name is Laura Kasensen, an entrepreneur based in Hong Kong.
My name is Richard Xu Yaodong, a local Chinese currently based in California.
This is Miguel Vos, live from Toronto.
My name is Alejo Lopez. I live in Santiago, Chile.
Overall, life is continuing as normal in Canada. However, the Canadian authorities and the business sector remains highly vigilant. Many condominium buildings and apartment buildings are reminding people about the possible symptoms. People are also asking people in Canada to constantly wash their hands properly. We also see China and the virus almost daily on the news here.
Actually, here in Chile, the government has taken many measures regarding the coronavirus. As for example, a lot of awareness to health institutions as well as in the airport, where passengers who could be having these symptoms of the coronavirus should proceed with some of the instructions that airport officials will let them know.
Since the hit of the virus, a lot of cities and countries have prohibited people from Hong Kong to traveling into their lands. We have also sadly seen cancellations and reschedulings of many events, conferences and mega projects.
In the short run, the business in China is impacted significantly. Travel to China is restricted and the activities in China is minimized.
In terms of the company, I believe that in the short term, we are making the good decisions in terms of flight constraints to the regions.
We've also heard stories that certain businesses have asked their employees who recently traveled to China to stay home for 1 or 2 weeks. Canada has not started any travel ban, different from many other countries. However, Air Canada has stopped its flight service.
In the medium to long term, we see that there is an increasing trend in online meetings, webinars, as well as conferences that are being conducted across boundaries through the internet.
But in the long term, we should be helping and supporting our employees in Southeast Asia in order to avoid and help them overcome this virus.
I see a business transformation and the business dynamics will be leaning more and more towards e-commerce and the digital space and the mobile apps.
We also see that a lot of companies as well as individuals are trying to foolproof themselves for the future to become more agile and more competitive. So after this situation, hopefully survival of the fittest, we will be stronger than ever.
Though I have no doubt that the Chinese economy will bounce back quickly, many do believe the impact will be significant. Many Canadian companies rely heavily on China for producing their goods. Also, many Canadian companies have their supply chain within China as well, serve many customers within the Chinese market. Any disruptions within these type of industries will certainly have an effect on these businesses.
Companies will take more initiatives in EHS and corporate social responsibilities in improving our life, health and safety as well as the environment.
加油武汉，加油 China!